Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a really close look at something that's basically defined global security since World War II ended, the nuclear age.
Right. It kicked off, almost 80 years ago now? New Mexico, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Those moments changed everything.
They absolutely did. And look where we are now.
The scale today is just huge. We think 9 countries have nuclear weapons. Maybe more are believed to have them. And the estimated total, over 12,000 warheads.
12,000.
Yeah.
That's staggering. So our mission today, our deep dive, is really to understand how we got here. How did nations get the bomb? What about the efforts to stop it, like the NPT?
And importantly, why a specific regional effort has suddenly become this flashpoint in the bigger picture.
Okay, but before we get to the new stuff, we need the foundation. That Cold War concept, mutual assured destruction.
MAD. It sounds, mad, doesn't it? But it was the logic.
The terrifying logic. Basically, both sides could wipe each other out completely.
And since a counterstrike was guaranteed, attacking meant your own destruction. So theoretically, neither side makes the first move. A balance of terror.
Pure terror. And as that tech started spreading, the world tried to put a lid on it. That brings us to the NPT, the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Came into effect in 1970.
Yeah, the NPT. It was the big global framework.
So how did it work? It sort of grandfathered in the existing nuclear powers, right?
Exactly. The U.S., Russia, UK, France, China, they were deemed legal nuclear states because they'd already tested a weapon before '67. Everyone else who signed promised not to develop them.
That sounds like a deal. What was the catch?
The catch. There always is one, isn't there? The 5 legal states, in return, promised to sincerely push for nuclear disarmament. Sincerely.
Sincerely. That word feels loaded because that promise or the feeling it wasn't genuine, that's where the cracks start appearing, right? That's the trust deficit.
Precisely. Many non-nuclear states just don't buy it. They look at the Big Five, the N5, and see modernization, maybe even more weapons, not disarmament. They feel like they're being told one thing while the powerful do another.
And that feeling, that lack of trust, is what leads some countries to just go their own way. Outside the treaty.
Absolutely. It shows the NPT's limits. Look at the non-signatories. Israel's a key example. Never signed.
They practice that strategic ambiguity thing.
Right. Never confirm, never deny. Sources say it stems from deep survival anxiety. It's kind of an open secret, though, especially after the Vanunu leak back in '86.
And their actions seem to match that anxiety. Preemptive strikes.
On suspected nuclear sites, yes. Iraq, Syria, and Iran is obviously a major concern for them now.
Then you have that chain reaction in South Asia, India, and Pakistan.
A classic regional domino effect. India felt threatened by China, so they tested what they called a peaceful nuclear explosion in '74.
Peaceful explosion.
Yeah. Well, Pakistan saw that as anything but peaceful, an existential threat, so they went all out to get their own bomb.
And they got help, didn't they? From A.Q. Khan.
That's where it gets even more complicated. A.Q. Khan, the scientist, he helped Pakistan, yes, but then it turned out he was running this, private underground network.
Selling nuclear secrets.
Technology, blueprints, the works, completely outside any state control. He sold stuff to North Korea, Libya, Iran. It massively spread the risk.
And fueled North Korea's program.
Directly. North Korea used that help, then formally walked out of the NPT in 2003, tested their first bomb just 3 years later. A total rejection of the system.
It's not all one-way traffic, though, is it? Some countries went the other direction.
That's crucial to remember. South Africa is unique, developed a program, then voluntarily gave it up during their transition to democracy.
And after the Soviet Union collapsed.
Right, you had Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan. They inherited massive nuclear arsenals. Huge. But they chose to give them up, join the NPT as non-nuclear states. It shows that context, security guarantees, they matter. It's not inevitable.
Okay, so we have signatories, non-signatories, quitters, and the gray zone, Iran.
Iran's the big one right now. They are NPT signatories. Legally, they're supposed to stick to peaceful nuclear energy.
But the suspicion, particularly from the U.S. and Israel, is that it's a cover.
That's the suspicion. And some evidence points back to that same A.Q. Khan network, help with facilities like Arak, Natanz, Fordo, early tech. It raises flags.
And the fear isn't just Iran getting a bomb, but what happens next in the region.
It's the domino effect potential. If UN checks break down, maybe post-2025, according to some sources, or if facilities get attacked, Iran might just kick out inspectors.
Which could push others. Saudi Arabia may
Yeah, regional rivals might feel they have to get their own deterrent. It could spiral really fast, the whole region on edge.
So the big picture. The NPT, the global system, it's under serious strain.
Yeah.
Non-compliance, withdrawals, and that core broken promise on disarmament.
Massive stress. And that really begs the question, if the global approach is faltering, what else is there?
And this is where regional efforts come in. Maybe as a supplement, a plan B.
Potentially. They're stepping into the gap. Trying to build firewalls, maybe. Which leads us to Southeast Asia, the SHAN-WFZ.
SHAN-WFZ, the Southeast Asia Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone.
Right. Also called the Bangkok Treaty, signed way back in 1995 by the 10 ASEAN nations.
Yeah.
Simple goal, make Southeast Asia permanently non-nuclear.
Seems straightforward. What's the problem?
The problem is their core demand. To make the zone truly secure, they want the 5 legal nuclear powers, the P5, to sign a legally binding protocol.
The protocol saying what?
Saying they will not use or threaten to use nuclear weapons against any SHAN-WFZ member state. A guarantee. A negative security assurance, it's called.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Why wouldn't the nuclear powers just sign it? Especially if these countries promise not to have nukes.
Well, for decades, it's been stalled. The main barrier has been reservations from the Western nuclear states, the U.S., UK, and France.
Reservations about what specifically?
It boils down to a specific clause. It relates to transit rights. The treaty allows foreign ships or aircraft, which might be carrying nuclear weapons, to pass through CNWFZ members' territory or airspace.
Ah. So a U.S. submarine, maybe carrying nuclear missiles, could potentially sail through waters covered by the treaty.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
And the treaty language allows for that possibility.
And why is that a deal breaker for the U.S., U.K., and France?
It comes down to their global military posture. Their nuclear deterrent often relies on strategic ambiguity and flexibility. They don't like confirming or denying where their nuclear assets are.
Signing this protocol, acknowledging these transit limitations, even implicitly?
They feel it restricts their operational freedom, ties one hand behind their back, so to speak. Especially in a region as critical as the Indo-Pacific, it could complicate how they project power or respond elsewhere.
Okay, so that's the long-standing stalemate. But now things are changing.
Big time. This is the really interesting part. Recently, China, and then Russia followed, announced they're willing to sign the SHAN-WFZ protocol unconditionally.
Unconditionally. That word seems huge here. No reservations about transit.
Exactly. Unconditional is the key. It changes the entire dynamic.
Okay, let's unpack China's angle here. Why do this now?
It's smart, multi-layered strategy. First, it looks consistent. It lines up nicely with their public, no-first-use nuclear policy. Makes them look principled.
But hold on, if they already have a no first-use policy, what are they really giving up by signing this? Is it actually a concession?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Critics would say it costs them very little in practice. But diplomatically, it's huge.
How so?
They score major points with ASEAN nations, build trust, look like the responsible power compared to the West.
Ah, so it puts pressure back on the U.S., U.K., and France.
Precisely. By saying yes unconditionally, China basically throws the spotlight and the pressure right onto the Western powers who are still holding out because of their military concerns.
Makes the West look like the obstacle to regional security.
Exactly. And that image, that perception of being cooperative and responsible, that's valuable. It can translate into leverage on other tricky regional issues like, say, the South China Sea disputes. It's diplomatic capital.
But how is this actually landing in the region? Are Southeast Asian countries buying it?
It's mixed, which really highlights that trust deficit we talked about earlier. You had the Philippines Defense Department expressing, well, pretty open skepticism.
Skepticism based on what?
Based on that same trust deficit. They basically said nuclear powers need to actually disarm first, like they promised under the NPT decades ago, before making new promises in regional treaties. Why trust this commitment when the bigger one was broken?
Fair point. But not everyone feels that way.
No. Malaysia's foreign minister, for instance, seemed much more positive, really emphasized the significance of the unconditional nature of the offer, saw it as a potential breakthrough, a positive step.
So let's tie this all together.
Yeah.
We have this global framework, the NPT, essential but clearly struggling. Disarmament promises unkept, withdrawals, compliance issues.
A really shaky foundation right now.
And into that uncertainty, regional ideas like SHAN-WFZ step up, trying to create local zones of safety.
These seem like a necessary supplement, maybe, a potential safety net when the global system is stalled.
And this recent move by China and Russia, offering unconditional support, it injects new life, new energy into SHAN-WFZ.
It absolutely does. But it also raises the stakes considerably. It makes the zone itself a focus of great power maneuvering.
Which brings us right to the final critical question. the one we really want you, the listener, to consider. In this world, where the global effort to stop nuclear spread seems to be faltering, can these regional arrangements, like the Xi'an WFZ, actually work? Can they be a genuine firewall for peace?
Or is this shift, this new attention from major powers like China and Russia, inevitably just going to turn this vital regional initiative into something else, just another new stage for great power competition? Where does the balance lie?